Yeah. Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. Wheels them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday, and we've already had a great string of shows that we presented, as we often do. Sunday, we had a really great episode. Sunday House Party, myself, Voice, and Grunt. And then Monday, they got together again, and they got together with the man who presents Chaos. That's a Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway. But it's Wednesday, so that means it's time to get raw. And I can only do that with my amazing co-host. That is, of course, divinely designed Annie O'Neill. What is up, Annie?
What's up, Con? How's it going? It is going. You know, we weathered the storm, and then we're looking like we weathered the storm. You know, just got over the plague, so we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing and grooving. So here we are. It is Wednesday. It's time to give him that work. Give it to him raw, exactly how everyone asked for it.
Facts.
Exactly. Big facts.
Most definitely. And you know, we talk Monday Night Raw, but I gotta say, there's just a whole bunch of things going on in wrestling as a whole, like a whole lot of things leading up to WrestleMania. So with all these implications, so much implications, and Elimination Chamber this Saturday. We talked a little bit of Elimination Chamber on the Sunday House Party. We got to get your predictions. We're going to get those a little bit later on in the show. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about some of these must-see things that are happening in wrestling right now, leading up to WrestleMania, and so much popping off. Yeah, so much, most definitely. But I guess I got to start with the elephant in the room, because I don't think we've got a chance to really get your thoughts on In Your House as far as everything that's happened with The Rock, him showing up on SmackDown, and him making that big offer to Cody to basically sell his soul to Cody. So I guess we'll talk about that. Let's jump right into it. As a matter of fact, I believe that's one of the most must-see things that's happening in wrestling right now, for the fact that what's going to happen out of this? Is Cody going to go corporate? Are we going to create somebody else corporate? I think whatever it is leading to whatever the next big storyline is leading up to WrestleMania. But what were your thoughts on it initially?
You know, I think we're overdue with another layer of depth from Cody Rhodes. I think he serves us as a great champion, but there needs to be a new edge to him at this point. And who better than The Rock to give us that edge? I mean, he really presented Cody with a really, like, I don't know, just the way it was presented. He's like, I want your soul. I'm like,
yeah.
Ew, that made my mortal coil shook. I mean, I value my soul, and there's a lot of things that people are willing to do for a soul. So, and you can tell when someone loses their soul. I'm just saying, you know it. But like, I don't know, it really perfects Cody. So, I don't know. Really creeped me out, because I don't know, because like, I mean, you have the choice. Do you sell your soul and reap earthly rewards, or is it worth your eternal soul? I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, it was only a matter of time when The Rock was going to reemerge at some point, especially in this close to WrestleMania. How is
Yeah.
that going to be involved? Um do you what was one of the last things that The Rock said to Cody at WrestleMania last year? And like, I can't exactly remember the turn of phrase, but it was something that what he like so keenly said that like provided a loophole for this to happen. Like, just the overarching uh detail is really, really, really cool, and it's interesting to see how this manifested. So,
Yeah, it is going to be very interesting, I think.
hmm
I think with everything going on, I mean, you look at everything that Cody is doing,
yeah,
and I've really just been thinking about it
hmm
because when I mean, basically, what we do is well, at least I know what I do is I gauge like the IWC's response to
hmm
things, how it's going, and we all wanted Cody to we wanted Cody to finish the story, and Cody finished the story last year's WrestleMania, and what always happens when something like this happens is, okay, now what? What's next? And I think that we've had almost a year of Cody Rhodes' title run.
hmm
And for a good portion of that title run, the stigma on it was, oh well, the reign is boring. It's a boring reign. What's he doing? And I honestly, I mean, for a little bit there, I could say where it's like, okay,
yeah,
because it's like, where do you go from
right,
the big, beating Roman Reigns, becoming champion, then Roman Reigns is done, so he's not going to get. So they're not, advertise. They didn't advertise a rematch between them after that, So it's like, okay, so now he's got to defend it, and now he's got to find different challengers and things of that nature. I
hmm
think they really took off around the Kevin Owens feud for sure. It
hmm
really took off. But I don't think his reign has been boring for a while. I think that stigma needs to end. And I think that whatever is going to happen with Cody, whatever the storyline is with The Rock, whether it be Cody actually going corporate or he refuses to subscribe to The Rock's offer and to go corporate, and then Rock finds another corporate champion, maybe the Elimination Chamber winner
I
becomes
feel like
corporate.
people are really pushing for the Code Lander narrative. Are
Yeah,
you familiar? Yeah, I'm like, and I've seen that vehement response, and because you can't tell me that WWE doesn't like scour their social media. They know what the
sure.
general consensus is about because WWE, never before than right now, do they actually take a consideration to what the fans want to see? Um, but I that's not gonna happen. They're gonna maybe breadcrumb it and then pivot on a dime and then do the complete opposite. I could still be wrong. I could still be wrong, but the timeline of Code Lander does sound really cool, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I
But isn't that the great thing about it, though, that you don't
It
know what's
is.
going to happen?
It is.
It's
That's
good to
one of
be
my
able to say
favorite
that again.
parts. I One of my favorite things. I enjoy being worked. I'm gullible to a fault anyway. I really am. It's quite cute, if I do say so myself. But but I mean that's the entire point. Like um I let my ego step aside and I go along for a ride on the journey.
Sure.
But and honestly, who can enjoy wrestling while being so freaking cynical? I can't. If I hate something, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, yep.
So like the strings are being pulled and I'm dancing. So
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what
it's the
that's
entire
what I
point.
sign up for.
It
I sign up
is.
for it every year. I sign up for it every time I watch the show. Like I'm
I
okay
mean,
with being worked. I know the
it,
difference, and I don't have to be one of those people that's like, oh well, Seth Rollins' name is actually Tyler Black. Like, all right, you're the smartest person in the room. Like, all
wow.
right.
I didn't know how you could encapsulate the voice of the entire IWC voice, but that was it. That was
That was
it.
it, right?
So every time you interpret something from the IWC, that's the voice
That's the
you need to
voice. Got
use.
it. All
That's it.
right, got it. I'm with it. I'm
Yep.
with it.
That's it.
But that's it though. That's truly it. It's like I'm okay. Like I'm not so hung up on trying to show you how smart I am about wrestling. You know, like I'm okay with going on the ride, just like you said. And I do it every year around this time in a big way. WrestleMania, I love it. One of my
Mhm.
favorite times of year. You know, this is like, everybody loves the lead up to like Christmas or something like that. This is my
Yes.
lead up to Christmas, like I love it. So, um, I got to tell you as well, because we're talking about must see things leading up to WrestleMania here on the Raw deal with House and O'Neil. I gotta say, wow, there's been like I said, this is the Raw deal. We talk Monday Night Raw,
Mhm.
and we're definitely going to talk about some awesome stuff because I
Mhm.
really do want to talk about Liv Morgan. I got things I got to get out about her and how amazing she is,
Mhm.
but I want to make sure that I bring this up too because another big thing that's just happening, and I don't want it to be something that's kind of under the radar because it's really not. This NXT and TNA merger is really starting to fire up, Annie.
It. I mean, it's popping like hips in a orthopedic wing. So it really is. It. it
What's up, hype? What is up, man?
it really. I'm sorry. Hold on. That was so dumb.
Hilarious. My God.
Okay,
Oh
hold on. I
man.
gotta. That was funny. That was funny. Okay, switched.
Pat yourself on the back. There you go. There you go.
But I didn't expect it to accelerate this quickly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, just when WWE wants us on one hook, they add about five more. Like, uh, one thing I wanted to bring up was, there was a segment between Moose and what's Lexus King, and
Yes.
they were teasing like another matchup, but uh Lexus review that he had a I know, she's great. But he was booked for a different match at Roadblock. So we were projected one thing and then we were given another.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool because then we saw who that match was going to be with.
What is going on? Okay, I
I
just got to
don't
bring this
know.
up. I got to bring this up. Like, and I really thought about this earlier when I
Talk to
was
me
think
fast.
when I was prepping for the show.
Yeah.
Why is Roadblock so ridiculously big? I mean, I understand it's Madison Square Garden. That's it. That's the reason. I get
Yes.
it. It's Madison Square
Yes.
Garden. It's on a Tuesday. It's one of their Tuesday shows. It's not even a Saturday show. So it's just a PLE esque it's PLE adjacent is
Mhm.
basically what it is, and they're doing it on a Tuesday, and it's going to be must watch because it's like you have things like
Because they're
Obafemi
not
is
giving us an option.
yeah,
They want all of us. Maybe
yeah,
you know what? Maybe we are selling our souls and we don't know.
maybe,
I mean,
maybe,
if it has our attention and we can't stop watching, I mean, well,
maybe. You might be right. You might be onto something.
yeah. I
You
know
might
I
be onto
speak the
something.
facts sometimes. I wish I'd stop. Then I don't stop. Yeah, there's a lot of noise going on up here, but we're talking about wrestling. We're talking about
What is going on here? We got
don't
OG
know.
Tony. He's saying NXT is the best put together wrestling show on TV. and Hype says NXT's going up on a Tuesday, and that is absolute
Is
fact.
though. It
But
is.
here's the thing, Annie. Like
Mhm.
you have Obafemi and Moose, you have the Hardys and Fraxium. That's going to be big, huge,
Are we in a fever
and
dream? Is that
I
what
don't.
the is this what the problem is?
That's what it seems like. That is what it seems like because there's a lot of big things going on, and like I said, and I don't even know if you saw because I got a chance to see the entrance.
Yeah.
How surreal is it to have the Hardys back under the WWE umbrella again and on NXT of all
Weird.
places?
Weird. Wearing and belts are big, like it's yeah, like once the forbidden door was broken down and like incinerated and used for kindling, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
still taking some getting accustomed to because like are my eyes really seeing what's going on? Because like I said, former uh WWE tag team champions wearing TNA belts, like it never, and they're being defended on a WWE product. It's craziness to me.
yeah. You got Moose defending the TNA X Division Championship. It's that's
And
wild stuff going on.
what if it changes hands?
I think it
And
could.
Obafemi holds both. That was something I want to see happen now.
I wonder if that leads to more Obafemi on TNA TV. It
Because
has to, right?
okay, so what other? Because Cora Jade's been on TNA. Who else has made the crossover, or has
Yeah.
been recently? Because we've seen a
Core
lot of
Jade.
TNA people
Tatum
go.
Paxley, I think, was
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
TNA.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, I believe Tatum Paxley was another
okay.
one.
That's a
I
good one to
believe
see TNA.
I think Wesley went back for a minute. I might be wrong on
Okay.
Wesley, but definitely Tatum Paxley for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they've done a couple of them. I like it, and the fact that okay, here's my thing, and then you got Julia,
And what if
and
Jordan Grace
and
goes back to TNA?
what if she goes back? And then you got once again you got Julia and Stephanie Vickier. They're going to be having a title versus title match on Roadblock. What in the world is?
I want to see Jason Alexander on freaking NXT. I know he's a free agent now, but Josh Alexander, not Jason Alexander. He's from Seinfeld.
Oh, Josh. Okay, Josh. Like, woo. Yes, no, Josh Alexander. I would love to see him make an appearance. I would love to see him make an appearance and show up. Most definitely. But that's the thing with this crossover. You never really know what you're gonna get, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing. We once again Roadblock coming up. What are they gonna do for Stand and Deliver? I couldn't even
Mhm.
tell you right now because of the size of Roadblock and how they've made it and how they've built it.
When is that? NXT Roadblock. That is
March 11th
wow. So very soon, very 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 soon.
coming up,
Yep.
coming up, most definitely.
After WrestleMania, the rest of the year is just gonna fly by. Like time
That's
isn't
always how it
for us,
goes.
and it's weird, freaking weird. Yeah, it does.
It
And
is.
you're not wrong.
So listen, all right.
Mhm.
Let's pivot back because we're talking about things that are pretty much must see right now. I have to make sure I talk about Liv Morgan because Liv Morgan is really just having a hell of a year,
She
and
really
she's now
is.
she's now a three-time women's tag team champion, and everything that she's doing now it is relevant. And I say that to say this because there was a while there where Bianca Belair and Naomi, or at the time Jade Cargill, was tag team champions, and
Mm.
I was like, there's nobody to take those titles off of them.
Hmm.
They're just gonna hold the titles forever. And I got to tell you, when Liv and Raquel won the titles off of them, I totally believed it. It totally made sense to me. They were the right ones to take the titles off of them. And I think it's going to lead to what Bianca Belair does next. But most
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I think that them taking the titles off them and the titles going to Liv Morgan, already established star,
Mm-hmm.
Raquel Rodriguez, who she's won gold with before, who's now, found her spot with being Liv Morgan's heavy. So she's brought her into prominence. Now they're going to bring those titles into prominence. I love everything going on with Liv Morgan. To me, she's one of the best things going on in the show. And whatever she does at WrestleMania, which I assume is going to be involved in the Women's Tag Team Championships, I'm going to be paying attention to it because she's really proved in this last year that she is a superstar.
It's so interesting how she backdoored her way into being another champion, which I
Yeah.
thought was so cool because when Raquel joined Judgment Day, like, and when they figured out their chemistry, I think we even called it on the show. Like, they're gonna be tag team champions.
Yeah,
They
we
really
did. We
are.
sure did.
And I think like the Bianca and Naomi dropping the belts now, it's gonna fuel their motive to find out what happened to Jade even more.
I agree.
And I think that this segment between them, because this is not going to be the last time Bianca and Naomi intervene in with Raquel and Liv. No way. But yeah, that program's gonna marinate for a little bit. And I oh my god, there were so many moments in that match where I thought, like, is this gonna be it? It was like a ping pong match. Like the
Yeah.
so intense, and you're just on the edge of your seat. But and like when I first saw the ending of the match on Monday, I was like, I don't know, I was kind of sour about it. Like, is that how I don't like that finish at all. But rewatching it made a lot of sense. It
Yeah.
it really did. But just the cohesion in all of the professionals in that ring, because there were some, like the code breaker spot, like that was so
Oh, I love that. I love
interesting.
that.
And like the look of devastation on Liv Morgan's face. Like, did you see that oh fuck, it was a commercial, and the insurance guy he's standing there with a wax figure of himself, and it gets really hot outside, and his
Yeah.
face just starts melting. That's
Melting away.
that that's how Liv Morgan sells for me. Like, she's just melting. Like,
Her facial expressions are so damn good. Like she's just on a different level. I love, yeah,
right.
like when she sells a move, you could see it all over her face. Like she's gotten really great at that.
Like, you couldn't tell me like she wasn't a witch in a past life. Like, she is like the sixth member of the craft or something. Like, I can see it.
Man, she's brilliant, and I think that she's going to continue to be brilliant as the women's tag team champ. I love the fact that, listen, this is what I've been saying on. Have I not been saying this show for weeks? The way they've highlighted the women's tag team division, they
Yes.
main
Yes.
evented Raw. They got the fireworks at the end when the titles changed
Yeah.
hands.
I didn't
Like
expect
they
that
made
at
it
all.
big. I didn't expect that, and I'm like, I
I'm like, oh shit,
appreciate that.
they're pushing the esteem and the prestige of the women's tag team, but unfortunately,
I appreciated that
it
though. I
does the
did.
opposite for the men's tag team division.
Oh man, the men's Raw, at least the Raw tag team
Right,
division.
right.
Oh man, I got the SmackDown tag team division is great. I mean,
It
I
is.
get a chance to
It
talk
is.
about it every week on Sundays, but yeah, the Raw tag team division, we don't even really talk about it on this show. I mean, it's just, I mean,
I mean, what is
it's
there to talk about?
there really isn't. I
No,
mean,
I mean, but it's all about the women right now. So that's an indirect consequence, so to speak,
and you
because
know
not
what?
not
I'm okay
everything
with
can have
it.
the spotlight. Not everything
Yep,
can.
and I'm
Because
okay with it. I'm okay.
it's cool that the narrative is being written. So, and I think that's the general consensus. So
Yeah,
I'm mad at it.
listen. One thing has to be lesser. Sometimes one thing has to be lesser for another thing to be
Right.
greater. And
Sure.
I think that right now that the women's tag team division has really been hitting, and they've been finding really
Mhm.
good ways to keep it relevant. And they
Right.
finally found the right people to take those championships off of Bianca Belair
Mhm.
uh, and Naomi and or Jade Cargill. Like you said, I think this is honestly, as soon as that happened, my mind went right to whatever happens, whatever the next chapter in this Jade thing is. We're gonna see it between Naomi and Bianca in the chamber. I think something could happen either in the chamber, but most definitely the week after or the
'Cause
Raw right after that. But what something is going to happen, I'm waiting for it in that chamber match. Is something is going to happen between those two, and it's going to spark whatever this Jade thing is.
if it wasn't going to happen at the Rumble, will it happen in the Elimination Chamber?
That's the question.
That's a really good question because and we saw Bianca falter. Like she got mad when, her homegirl showed love to another person. Which
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, like I don't not that's not something I would do, but doesn't make it any less valid. So,
Crash out Bianca Belair.
ah, man, I don't know. I don't think that would happen, but that's an interesting narrative. Something
I kind
interesting.
of want to see it.
I
I
mean,
kind of want to
hey,
see it.
we have a really good way of making things manifest. So we speak it
I'm
into
just
existence. Tends to
I'm
happen.
just saying. All I'm saying is this:
Mhm.
is I am a massive fan of Bianca Belair, and I really enjoy what she does, especially when she wrestles in singles competition. Not anything against her being in a tag team. I think she's great in a tag team. I just like Bianca Belair one on one. I think she does her best work
Right.
when it's her versus one other person in the ring. Not saying that she doesn't do great multi women matches or tag team matches. I just enjoy her work when she's one on one.
You brought
And
it up
I
before that
yeah,
crap, what did you say? You that Bianca really took a step back in the last 2 years to help bring other people up.
yes,
So I
yes,
feel like whenever Jade returns, that might be the moment where we might see Bianca, if not now, definitely then reemerge as a singles competitor. Because if once Jade reaches that stepping stone, she's not going to need Bianca.
yep.
So, I mean, it makes sense. The timing makes sense.
The timing for sure makes sense. I mean, all
What
this
do you
stuff
like
really
about a heel Bianca Belair? What's
grittier.
your
I
favorite match?
mean,
Yeah.
you've said it. You've made a point on this show before where one of your biggest things with Lyra Valkyrie, who I'm a massive fan of, is that she's a little bit too perfect, a little bit too, like a clean product. I think I want to see a grittier Bianca Belair. Like
I like it.
I think you could argue that Bianca sometimes is a little bit too put together and perfect and everything. I want to see her crash out a little bit. I want to see a different level of Bianca Belair for sure, and I think it will be fun. I think it'd be a fun ride for sure, and seeing her, and then still have
Mhm.
banger matches, and just adding a different wrinkle to her character. And I know they're very protective of Bianca Belair because Bianca Belair is pretty much like you know they're John Cena
Exactly. Yeah.
when it comes to like women and girls and specifically even black women and black folks and whatnot. They very much are like
Sure.
she's the
Sure.
standard. She
Yeah.
is the
She's that
standard.
role model.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. So they're very careful with how they present her, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. I mean,
Do
I don't
you
think you should be afraid to press those buttons.
I mean, but can you have I mean, but couldn't there be like an archetype that exists where she plays a more heelish face? I mean,
I
she can be
mean,
a little more rugged. I mean, it's a fine line, but why not?
look at Roman. Roman is a good example. Like
Mhm,
Roman was a bad guy, but people just thought he was cool, you
mhm,
know? Like that happens all the time. Look at the
right.
NWO. The NWO were predominantly a heel faction,
And they're
unless they were
right,
like,
right.
and people thought they were cool,
Mhm,
So it could be one of those things. But I just think that you have so much amazing women's talent that could take those roles that they hold so precious for somebody like a Bianca Belair,
mhm,
and just like you can place somebody else in those roles and give them a chance to have them, so that way Bianca Belair has an opportunity to kind of think outside the box a little bit and
mhm.
recreate herself a little bit to maybe add an extra wrinkle and layer to her character that's just going to make her
Right,
even
right.
more amazing than what she
Where else
already is.
right. Where else can her talents go? What
Right.
else can she fulfill? What kind of other energy can she bring to the forefront? What kind of other character can she fulfill? I mean, you know, because she is so, she is a huge, like you said, that huge female empowerment role, especially for Black women, which I
Hmm.
absolutely love, and it's still more critical now than ever. And I love Bianca for the energy that she exemplifies perfectly. Um, but the bad girl exists, like off with the social pretenses. I want to see the flaws. I want to see the soft white underbelly. Like what who else exists? Because the complete opposite is also possible. And like you said, give her another wrinkle. But I what besides Charlotte Flair, can you who else is a strong heel on the Raw's women roster right now? Liv Morgan, Raquel.
Hmm. Hmm.
Who else?
I mean, I assume that's the reason why they've been having Nia Jax come over as
Mhm,
often as they have,
mhm,
because
fair.
I mean, right now they're building their mid card for sure. So you have like, right now they're really building up like Ivy Nile. I wanted to make sure I threw that out there that Ivy Nile kind of had her little moment, but like, yeah, they're not really top heavy with like top women's heels right now.
I'm glad you brought up Ivy Nile because I wanted to ask you because I know what you said about her last week. Did this present to you a more solidified version of who Ivy Nile can be at the end of this
I'm
women's match? The
I'm glad you asked that.
Intercontinental belt?
It
Mhm,
did. It did.
mhm,
I can see the development. Like, yes,
mhm.
I said what I said last week, and I meant
Mhm.
what I said when I said it
Yeah,
last week.
absolutely.
But that this is what you do. That's what you're supposed.
Mhm.
You go out there every single time, and you get a little bit better. And if you're going out there every single time, look at people. When we saw Maxine, go out there and get better little by little. And we were like, okay, people will get behind you if they see you making those changes,
And
you
she
know?
showed out at Rumble. Oh my god. That
Yeah,
was
she did.
like that was the best performance from Maxine Dupree I've ever seen.
She's getting better and better
She
every
is.
single time, that's the same thing I could say about Ivy Nile. Ivy
Mhm.
Nile, amazing look, protected by a faction of people that she's used to being around and traveling with. That's great for her, and she's finding. I think she's still in the middle of finding herself. I will say this: I would I'd buy stock in her more so now being the next women's
Mhm.
intercontinental champion than I would if you would have asked me last week.
Sure.
So that's a
100%.
good sign.
And I like that the business still was picked up between Ivy and her quest for the belt. I really like that piece of business because it gives her something to chase.
Yep.
I'm glad that didn't just end, and I like how she was inserted at the end of that match. And it's still not the end for Dakota Kai either. So I really, really appreciate the process of the details being planted in front of us, and like I like how it's being written.
For sure. No, I'm with you. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying them putting together a nice mid card.
Mm,
And real quick, speaking of mid cards, I want to talk about a mid card match that so I told you we was talking before the show, we prepping everything. And this is just pulling the curtain back for you guys out there watching in the household. So on Monday Night Raw, I absolutely fell asleep. I went night night. That's what happened. I was just out. I was out. I was tired. It wasn't that the show was boring. I say this all the time on the show, so you guys know it's not that the show
we're
was
in our
boring. I
30s,
was just I
Tom.
was just tired. I was just tired.
We're in our 30s. I need naps. I do not, admittedly, I do not have this amazing, dazzling, shining personality without some naps.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, naps help.
Yep. I'm a
Naps
sleepy
help.
girl.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
listen.
You have to entertain you
So
somehow. Naps.
so I was falling asleep,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Yeah.
but it
Coffee.
was it was it was before I actually fell asleep. You know how it is when you're asleep, but you're not asleep. You can still hear the TV in the background or whatever.
Yeah.
So
You're in the twilight
before
zone. Mm-hmm.
exactly, so before I'm totally gone, they have Ludwig Kaiser, and Pete Dunne and Pentagon going up against each other in a triple threat match. And I'm like, this is just another one of those matches that's supposed to make Pentagon look cool. Like that's absolutely what this was. And the match was good. Don't get me wrong. Good match. But I had to go back and rewatch it because that's the match where I was like, okay. And I even thought to myself mentally in my mind, I was like, okay, I could fall asleep. I could
Fading
just
to
go.
black.
I can fade, because Penta's
Yeah.
100% unequivocally, most definitely gonna win this match. And boy, the way I jumped up out of like half sleep when I heard Ludwig Kaiser win the match, I was like, "What?" Because that is one of the
Yes.
least likely things I would have thought to have happened. And honestly, I I'll just say it like this: I see I see Ludwig Kaiser's trajectory differently than I did before he won that match.
Seriously, and I thought it was interesting because even though it was Penta's first loss, he didn't lose. He wasn't the one to get the pin or get
Right.
pinned. So, and what does this mean for Pete Dunne? Is he just gonna be forever designated to the mid card now? I mean, you know what? He's still working and he's an incredible worker. So, and that's not an insult in the ways I mean that
No.
at all. So, like,
No, but it's interesting. But it's fair to ask what's
yeah,
next for him because Penta. I honestly don't think Penta really hurts from this.
not at all.
Obviously, Ludwig Kaiser's stock definitely jumped up from unexpectedly winning the match. I don't think anybody expected him to really win. But yeah, the question is, where does Pete go from here? Pete's
And
an incredible in-ring talent.
if Penta's too perfect, he's gonna get boring.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
'Cause
It's
we hate
probably
people
best
who
they
are
got that
perfect.
undefeated conversation out of the way now.
Right, right. I mean, he's been on what for 6 weeks now?
Yeah.
I think January
It's it's
27th was his
it's
first
been
match.
it's been quite a few weeks, but listen, you just cut the undefeated thing out before it becomes a thing. Don't even let it be. If that's not what you're going for, don't let it be a thing. Let them get some key wins, and then I like how they did it because, like you said, now it's like okay, we don't have to trip about a Pentagon undefeated streak. It's not a thing. And I don't think a Pentagon undefeated streak needs to be a thing. That's not his gimmick, and it's doesn't need to be.
I don't think it's who he is as a person.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna see
I think
some.
he's a guy who builds through the losses. I believe.
I mean, and that's the archetype I actually appreciate the most. I mean, it makes you who you are as a person. You're nothing without your character development. I mean, if you're just walking a straight line, that's boring.
Yep. For sure.
It's on the crooked
Absolutely
path do you find out who you are. Just
true.
saying.
So listen, I know that there were some things we wanted to talk about because we had Seth Rollins and we had this big thing we was talking about earlier with Cody and The Rock and everything, and Seth Rollins, pretty much saying, "Listen, man, what are you doing? Why are you even thinking about this? What did we even do last year for if he was going to even consider this? Where are you at with it? Because like Seth Rollins, he's somebody who he's had an interesting character development in my
Right.
eyes.
Like
Such an interesting character development.
this year is, I know it's the year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology, but it is the year of the hypocrite for Seth frickin' Rollins. Because
Ooh.
any situation, and I'm willing to open to negotiations, what situation has he been in from 2024 through 2025 that he hasn't been in where he hasn't uh been hypocritical in them? Like, you know, and it's funny because when Cody drops the gavel, it really comes down very swiftly because he's gonna like hold the truth up to you and zoom it in real close and personal.
Yes, he
He
will.
really does. I love that about Cody Rhodes. Um, and he got me thinking. Oh yeah, I remember when the Shield fell and what Seth Rollins did. That's a really good point. Thank you,
Hmm.
Cody Rhodes, because when Seth Rollins, oh my god, like he just didn't hear how ridiculous he sounded when he said, "When you did not slap the Rock in the face,
You
that was
slapped
a
me in
slap
the face.
in my face. Out of all the things I sacrificed," I'm like, what? You sound tone deaf, sir. You do. And,
Seth Rollins, man.
and the way that Cody just listened and just listened without interruption, amazing. Didn't you called oh, I think but when we were saying in the when we were in the pre-screen that uh The Rock wanting to own Cody Rhodes' soul and like his whole corporeal form is
Hmm.
like the closest thing to being slavery without it actually being like slavery. And what did you how did you refer to
Cody, Cody Raheem Rhodes. Cody Raheem Rhodes. Oh my gosh. And on Black History Month, my
Oh,
God.
you know what? Seth Rollins does call himself the Monday Night Messiah. Is that right?
He does.
These things can't write themselves. This is why. This is why we
My
entertain
God.
people.
This is exactly why. That
This
is
is exactly
exactly
why.
why. Most definitely. Listen, this is an interesting thing, this
Yeah.
whole Rock situation. And we most definitely got to talk a little bit more because we have
Mhm.
to talk about your predictions. We have to talk about your elimination chamber predictions. And it's going to be interesting because it's going to be a really good card, I believe. We're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to take a break, pay a few bills. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get Annie's Elimination Chamber predictions.
Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. This is the Raw Deal with House and O'Neal. And man, we talked about some Monday Night Raw, some of the biggest things going down in wrestling leading up to WrestleMania. And man, I got to say, because I think I said this on Sunday, Annie, and this is just going to lead up to exactly what we're going to be doing, and that's getting your predictions for Elimination Chamber. I had to take my bias out of the Royal Rumble. As much as I enjoyed being at the Royal Rumble, it was a great time, and it was an amazing time. When I take my bias out of being there, I gotta say that this Elimination Chamber match, it has more implications for WrestleMania than Royal Rumble did, and honestly, the card together feels like a bigger show. And here's the thing: they've kept the formula of Royal Rumble, and I think that, like, if you're somebody who books shows or understands the booking of how WWE does things, this is the exact formula that they had with the Royal Rumble, where you had the 2 Royal Rumble matches, you're gonna have 2 Elimination Chamber matches, then you have your cool off, pseudo cool off tag team match. Last one, it was the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY in a title match. This one is going to be Tiffy time and Trishy time versus Nia and Candice LeRae. And then you had your pretty much street fight, your all over the arena fight, hardcore match, when we had the ladder match with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. And this time it's going to be an unsanctioned match with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and we're definitely going to get to that. But what I'm saying is that with things like the Elimination Chamber match, and it's leading right to who is going to be facing Rhea Ripley, and then who's going to be facing Cody Rhodes, like it's locking in. Like, here's the thing: we had to wait for Jey Uso, Royal Rumble winner, to pick Gunther. We had to wait for the women's Royal Rumble winner to Charlotte Flair to pick Tiffany Stratton. Now there's not going to be, I got to pick somebody. Whoever wins the women's Elimination Chamber match, you get Rhea. Whoever wins the men, you get Cody. No confusion. It's locked in. That's exactly what's happening.
No BS.
And then the interesting wrinkle of what's Cody's answer going to be for The Rock, because I guess Rock is going to be there in Toronto, from what I understand, to receive Cody's answer. That's even more WrestleMania implications right there. Like, it's as much as, once again, enjoyed the Royal Rumble, love it, but this Elimination Chamber pay-per-view really feels like it's huge and has huge WrestleMania implications. And
it's more weighted than I thought Rumble was.
Yeah. And we're going to get your thoughts. We're going to get your thoughts on it all together. So I got to ask you, because I've given my predictions, and I'm fine with going over them again here on this show. Gave them on the Sunday House Party this past Sunday. That's why we're kind of focusing on you here. And for me, it was really hard. If you go back and listen to that episode, or anybody that did go back and listen to it, they know that I was really struggling with picks into the very last second to pick. So I'll start off the same way that we started on Sunday for me, which was a little bit more of a layup, but we'll see what you say. Tiffy time and Trishy time. They're going to be tag teaming up. Trish Stratus and women's champion Tiffany Stratton going to be going up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Who do you think? Who do you got in that tag team match?
This one I think is going to be a little more easier to call. I think it's going to be Trishany Stratton.
Trishany Stratton. I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
Stranatus.
That's I like this pairing between these two.
It's like they're copy and paste versions of each other. It's weird. It's weird.
It is. I don't know if you saw a picture where they were in the ring together and they were like wearing the same outfit.
The same outfit. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm wearing glasses, but my eyes are playing tricks on me. What is going on? Like, this is an optical illusion.
Crazy. So okay, so we got Tiffy time and Trishy time, and that's who I picked. That's exactly who I picked. I just feel like that it's a great opportunity for Tiffany Stratton to get another notch in her belt as far as notoriety. You'll have, and I'm just exactly what I said on Sunday. I mean, you have Trish Stratus, who's there in her hometown, celebrating 25 years. Hey, I'm the hometown girl. You guys all love me. Give your love and adulation to this girl here who I respect and is the future of the company and yada, yada, yada. And honestly, and once again, I'm doubling down saying this again, I think this all leads to Tiffany Stratton going to WrestleMania and Charlotte Flair is going to put her shoulders on the mat for Tiffany Stratton, and I think Tiffany Stratton is going to retain the women's championship at WrestleMania.
I think that's exactly how this is going to play out. I think Charlotte is at that place in her career where she's going to start giving back to the talent who is going to carry the torch beyond her. I think she'll have a good couple years in WWE, but then I think maybe 3 years, and then I think she might retire.
Do you think it's a possibility? You never really know. I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. If Charlotte Flair does lose at WrestleMania, it's gonna be interesting to see if she goes off TV again after WrestleMania. I'll have questions.
I think she'll have a brief hiatus and then she'll come back and make people hate her even more. I don't know how she can do that. Even more so than she does right now, but she's Charlotte Flair. She is deceptive and cunning, and she will find a way.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, she's a great talent. I just like with the last year that she's had, I'm just like maybe she's just doing business leading up to WrestleMania. Then she's gonna take some time off and kind of get herself right again and get back to it. But yeah, that's just what I think. But yeah, I could see that. That's who I picked: Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. And that's who I got. So, all right. Now it's going to get a little bit harder now. We're getting a little bit more difficult because we have to talk what you think is going to happen in the unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Okay. This one is a little easier for me to call.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Kevin Owens.
Okay.
I think he and Sami are going to annihilate each other with whatever they can do dumb possible things with to each other, dumb human acts. But I think that it's the only way to make this drag out until Mania. Because I mean, I don't know how you get more extreme than an unsanctioned match. That's pretty extreme. But somehow it's going to happen, and I think we'll see this at Mania. So I think Kevin Owens wins this one, and then Sami might take it at Mania.
So what I think could happen is that Sami. So I picked Sami, and I said what could happen is Sami take the win, and then he's there in I listen. I went attitude. I just let me prefix it with I went attitude era here. I just want to let you know. So Sammy wins. They're there in Toronto. I assume Sammy, and he has his wife and kid there front row, and he brings them out to enjoy, because Sammy's had great moments at the Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber is a meaningful PLE for him, so now he just adds that by being there, beating his biggest rival, and doing it in his home country with his wife and kid there. Great moment that they're in the ring. But then here comes Kevin Owens, bip, to the back of Sami Zayn's head, puts him down, puts the shoes to Sami Zayn right there in the corner. Then you have Sammy's wife and kid. They're getting the kid out of the ring. Hey, it's getting serious now. Get the kid out of the ring. And then while all that is happening, you don't even notice the fact that Sami Zayn has been handcuffed to the ring post by Kevin Owens. In this whole mess of things going on here, then you have Sami Zayn's wife. And the only reason I would say they could do this is because they've been friends for years and the families are friends and they know each other really well. So let me prefix it with that. I could see a reality where if they really wanted to, Sammy handcuffed to the ring post, then Kevin Owens takes Sammy's wife up for the package pile driver, drops his wife right in front of him, and that's the fuel to make this rivalry even bigger leading up to WrestleMania.
I mean, we've seen what the package pile driver does to people. Like, it takes them out. Are they really want to kill a woman? They killed Randy Orton, for God's sakes.
That's why I said I went attitude era.
You went really hard.
Era.
Doesn't mean I don't appreciate it, but
no, at the end of the day, what I really think honestly is going to happen is that Sammy is going to win, and Kevin is going to do something to take it to the next level. He's going to do something big, not necessarily that, but he's going to do something big to help elevate it to that next level, and then they do it again at WrestleMania. Because I don't know if they do it. Doing it makes sense because it's in Canada, but I just don't see them not doing it at WrestleMania.
I know that my only concern was if Sami Zayn won, and I'm glad you answered that for me, because if Sami Zayn won, then where does it go from there? Like, that seems like the ultimate outcome that you want to finish the story with. But I like that detail. I mean, that's how you push it to WrestleMania, involving family.
Once again, I don't know how exactly they're going to get there. Once again, that was just crazy Vince Russo type booking. But the fact of the matter is, whatever it is, it's going to be big. It's got to be big for them to take it. Because what my mindset, Annie, is that the reason why Sami Zayn wins is because it makes Kevin Owens spiral even more into this descent to madness, and then he does something off the rails to just make it, because it's already been personal. And I just think that the only way that they can do this again is if he takes it somewhere to where it's more personal, where wins and losses don't even matter. Like, I don't care about winning or losing. I'm trying to end you.
And that also really deepens the character development for Sami, because if he's not chasing a title, then what?
Yeah.
He falls into the shadows of someone else's story arc instead of being the main character of his own. So it's a really, really, really good way of pushing the business further for both of them. I
agree. But once again, that's where it got hard for me. because I was just like, okay, I'm doing a prediction show. I have to give an
Right.
answer, but it's a good problem to have that I don't know, But now it's going to get real tough because now we got to jump into the Elimination Chamber matches. And we're going to start with the
I
women's
don't want.
elimination chamber match. It's going to be hard. Trust me, I
You
couldn't.
don't know that I'm probably the most indecisive person.
Oh yeah, we're going to be here. We're going to be here all night. We're going to be here all night because this is. I'm telling you, I really love what WWE did with this year elimination chambers for each one of them. Honestly, both the men and the women. We're going to talk about the women. So the elimination chamber match for the opportunity to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, you got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. All right. Annie, who do you got?
I don't. Not. I don't. I plead the fifth. I don't wanna.
Oh,
I don't want. No. I think. Oh.
OG Tony says Belair. OG Tony is giving his thoughts. He said Belair.
She has a
It's
strong
hard.
point. She has a strong point of contention. I think I don't think it's gonna be Liv and Rhea. I don't. That was a flashing thought I had when watching this episode. But she's a champion already, so
Yeah.
she's gonna have a good run with that for a while. So I don't think she's gonna have a great elimination chamber, but I don't think it's gonna be Liv. You know what? I think it's gonna come down to Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez.
Ooh, okay.
After Roxanne's performance at Rumble, I selfishly want her to win Elimination Chamber. So
I'm not mad at that.
But storyline wise, it's probably I think Bianca might have the strongest cause. So even though selfishly, I want Roxanne Perez to win. I think she's absolutely phenomenal. She's that perfect prodigy that you love to hate. That teacher's pet. What other stereotype can she fulfill? The natural, the one that you just hate because she's so good.
Yeah, yep. That's her.
But she's the embodiment of that, though. Like how young she is and the things that she's capable of. I love to see it. I love the people that make me hate them because there's a reason why they pop on my radar, and I just don't know what that is yet. But storyline wise, I think it's gonna be Bianca. I think it's gonna be Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania this year.
You know, I had already picked Bianca this past Sunday, and then when they took the titles off of her and Naomi this past Monday, that was just more incentive for me to be like Rhea or Bianca's winning. That was because listen, and Grun picked Roxanne Perez. That was Grunmeister's pick. He stood on business. He stood on business. He said he wanted to be Roxanne Perez. I don't hate that pick. I don't. But it's like OG Tony is saying here. Belair and Rhea is in fact a main event WrestleMania caliber match.
Because watching Bianca Belair pick up Raquel's big backed body, big back in the most positive connotation, by the way, because I love big strong muscular women. I am one myself, respect, but it's it doesn't matter how strong you are or how fast you are. Like if you can create leverage beneath someone so much bigger than you, and you can throw them over for KOD. That is someone I want to
She's
see
next level.
against Rhea Ripley. Okay, let's run that. That's the match I want to see. So
Sure. No,
And-
I think it's a good pick.
and notice that Bianca and Naomi are the only ones who are former tag team. They're our tag team partners, but
Yep.
not former.
Honestly, I think whatever is gonna happen, this Jade thing, it's either gonna be at Elimination Chamber or we get the real because they're still trying to plug it as it was Liv and Raquel, and I just don't subscribe to that. It's just too easy. Like, oh, case closed, just like that. No, that's not. I don't believe that at all.
We know where Bianca was during the time.
Yep.
Of the,
Yep.
But where was Naomi?
Still don't know about Naomi.
Usually,
I don't know what's gonna. Something big's gonna happen. It's coming in the next week.
Okay, we're usually portrayed by the ones closest to us, and I don't know.
I believe this, Tony. I believe this, OG Tony. There's a strong possibility we can get Naomi versus Jade because I do think that Naomi had something to do with it. So we're definitely going to see that most definitely. But up until that, I do believe Bianca Belair is going to win the Chamber.
And one more passing thought on Naomi. I want to see her alter ego.
Did you say alter ego?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I wanted to bring it up. And yes, I did.
Oh my God. Dear God. Dear God.
I am delirious. So.
Hey, that's all right. I've almost got you out of here. I'm almost getting you out of here for this episode because we still have one more match left.
I was hoping you'd forget.
No. We got to get Annie's thoughts. The householders got to get your thoughts on the men's Elimination Chamber match. Oh man, my God, John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, Seth freaking Rollins. That's my God. What a damn presentation for a WWE for Elimination Chamber match. My God.
When has the men's Elimination Chamber been this stacked? When?
Listen.
And all of them have cause to win.
Yep.
All of them. During Logan Paul's opening segment with CM Punk, there was a passing thought that he might win Elimination Chamber.
Ooh, yep.
And it made me feel dirty. It made me feel your dog took a shit somewhere in the house and you can smell it, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a human embodiment of Logan Paul to me, like human ick. Ugh. But he's undeniable.
But that's why he'd be perfect for the role. He'd be perfect to be corporate. Logan Paul. It's so perfect. Like it's almost too perfect.
That's. I think I'm gonna hate it. I think I'm gonna. Just because I don't like what my instincts are telling me. My instincts are usually right. Ugh. But this lines up John Cena to just miss the mark at every major event.
Yep.
Before he doesn't need 17. Does he win it? And he doesn't have to win it at Mania.
No, he absolutely no.
Absolutely not.
I honestly don't want him to win it at Mania.
I think it's gonna be Logan Paul. Gross.
Oh
Ew.
Man.
I need some Listerine. Ugh.
Logan Paul. And he fits perfectly for the role as the corporate champion. But here's the thing. So I don't hate the pick because I'm telling you, I promise you that since this whole Rock thing happened and the whole idea of who's actually going to be the corporate guy, I kept Logan Paul in the back of my mind since Friday. I promise you I have, because it's almost too perfect. It's like hate on top of hate. with him, and just putting the machine behind him would just make people hate him even more. I get it, totally get it.
Who
But
besides Dominic Mysterio gets that level of hatred?
uh,
That's just because he's a true scumbag.
yeah,
Really?
exactly. But my thought was this: what if the voice of the voiceless, the guy who's supposed to represent the masses and everything, sold his soul, sold his voice to become the corporate Second City Saints? CM Punk goes corporate, joins The Rock, and we
No.
get CM Punk versus Cody.
Don't you say it. Don't do that to me. He was wearing a Chicago Teacher Union shirt.
I
This
know.
episode of Raw. But
And
he's
in that
with
same
subliminal
episode,
imaging though.
yeah, but in that same episode, he said he is Satan. He said in that same episode, wearing that shirt, he said that he is Satan.
Girl, no.
He'd be a total scumbag.
But like,
sold his soul for a WrestleMania spot. He'd be a total scumbag.
Then I wonder how the favor would come into play.
Yeah.
If that was
because that creates a completely different dynamic for the favor.
I love CM Punk so much right now. I'm a huge fan of everything he's doing. And I will be so upset if he sells his soul. No.
But Annie, the story is incredible.
I know.
Incredible.
And that could be business.
Just listen.
But
I'm
that's
telling
the
you,
thing. I'm already living it
one
as
of the greatest.
I'm already living it as if it's existing.
I know. I'm telling you, it could be one of the greatest WrestleMania stories ever told.
It was already reprehensible to envision Logan Paul, but it was something different when you said CM Punk.
Because you expect Logan Paul to be a scumbag, asshole, sellout. I mean, yes, it's just piling shit on top of shit. But if you took somebody that we have such a, who most people have a really good, thought process, connotation of when it comes to CM Punk, he's this great guy. He's the voice of the voiceless.
Makes most sense.
Yep. You get it. You see it.
But at the end of the day, he only cares about one thing. But yeah, I can see that. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
I truly believe that if you go that route, and here's the thing. The truth of the matter is,
I thought it was going to be Rumble.
Oh, you thought
CM Punk was going to win.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be. That was my Rumble pick too. That was honestly my Rumble pick too. Maybe I'm just a CM Punk romantic. I don't know, but he's definitely my pick. But here's the thing, I'm telling you, and you could take Drew McIntyre and put Rock behind him, and it'll work. It would work. Logan Paul, you could put him there. It would work. That whole corporate guy thing is so plug and play that anybody can do it. Like there's even the story of what if it was somebody who's went corporate before and nobody expected him to do it again? What if it was Seth Rollins? I
think that would be at this point. But like that's the thing that's so abundant in the storytelling right now. Like it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
Like just when you think you're gonna get one outcome, you get a completely different one.
Exactly. So who knows what we could see, but I do know it's going to be a very interesting show. It's going to be awesome to see. I'm going to be locked in for it, checking it out. I'll be chilling out this weekend, but hey, I'm going to let you chill out. You've been a real trooper on this episode and toughed it out. We appreciate it and all the work you're putting in your house, even when you're not feeling the best. So now I'm going to get you out of here. But before I do that, I'm going to give you an opportunity to plug anything that you want to plug. This is your time, Maddie. Where can they catch you?
Tomorrow, I will be at CCW. We got another WWE ID prospect against another WWE ID showcase match. So that's going to be fun. We got our beloved Freedom Ramsey against Marcus Mathers.
Ooh.
So yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. It's going to be interesting to see what he brings to the table. So yeah, that's going to be fun. That is in New Baltimore, Michigan tomorrow for CCW, but this weekend I'm taking it easy. But the rest of the Frontline Pro locker room, they'll be at EverCon in Wisconsin, so that's going to be really cool. That's pretty much it for me this weekend. I'm taking it easy, and yeah, how about you, Con? What's going on for you?
Hey, I am doing my thing here at In Your House, and just making sure everything is going as it needs to go here. We got some really great episodes coming up. The Sunday episode is going to be big because it's going to be the fallout from Elimination Chamber. And yeah, it's going to be, I got a couple things in the works that I'm working on to help bring things to the show, whether it be the ECW watch along or the Sunday house party. But mainly I'm just doing my thing here. You know, don't have anything really moving until Emerge, when we go to Emerge, and that's going to be the 22nd. Yes, and that's going to be Money Talk. Should be a really great show. But yeah, other than that, I'm just here making sure it's going down how it needs to and making sure that we're putting in that work, because it's HOWSE, and that W does stand for work. So for Divinely Designed Danny O'Neill, for the Chaos Goblin Kevin Calloway, for the Grunmeister, for Hypocrisy Jones, for the voice Josh Joseph, Relentless Ray Larson, and the world's most dangerous podcaster Paragon, I'm Alakon, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household's still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Prophecy in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.